Yesterday, a friend of mine shared a video on Facebook in which the Irish Foreign Minister, Simon Coveney, delivered what he said was an important message for the children of Ireland. The message confirmed that Santa Claus would be exempt from any travel restrictions in place this Christmas. We regard Santa Claus's travel as essential travel, he said, meaning that Santa would be exempt from the requirement to self-quarantine for 14 days on arrival in Ireland. Santa will be able to come into Irish airspace, and indeed Irish homes, the minister said, without having to restrict his movement. Coveney did request, however, that children stay in bed to ensure social distancing as Santa was delivering their presents. Today, the 6th of December, is St. Nicholas' Day, as well as being the second Sunday of Advent. St. Nicholas is the patron saint of children, and it's from him that the traditions around Santa Claus and the giving of gifts to children originate. St. Nicholas, a 4th century bishop of Myra, was kind to children, as well as feeding the hungry, healing the sick, and caring for the oppressed. And so developed the tradition of bearing gifts to children on his feast day, which became absorbed into the Christmas celebrations. Later today, we have the Chorister Bishop ceremony, and this also comes out of the association of St. Nicholas with children. Every year around this time, a chorister is chosen to take over from the real bishop for a day, adopting his place in the bishop's throne and delivering the sermon at evensong, thus fulfilling the line in the Magnificat that says, "He hath put down the mighty from their seat." This tradition goes back for centuries, and this year we've adapted the ceremony so that it can take place in a COVID-safe and socially distanced way. It's reassuring that this, as well as the safe delivery of Christmas gifts to Irish, and we hope to all children, can still go ahead this year. We're looking forward to it and to the Chorister Bishop's sermon later this afternoon. There's comfort in the familiar rituals of this time and of Christmas, and in traditions such as the giving of gifts. Comfort is much needed at this time. We're coming to the end of a terrible year. The number of people who will be spending Christmas alone this year has doubled compared to previous years, particularly among older people, reflecting the social fracturing caused by the pandemic. And as well as the impact on people's mental health, health services are under pressure from increasing COVID admissions. The COVID-hit British economy experienced the deepest recession in history this year, and official forecasts now predict the biggest economic decline in 300 years. Even with a vaccine, a strong recovery from the economic malaise might be some way off. These certainly are anxious times, especially for low-paid workers and for young people. We are then in need of words of comfort, and this is exactly what we've been given in our Old Testament reading this morning. "Comfort, O comfort my people," it began. This reading from the 40th chapter of the prophet Isaiah is a very famous one. Normally at this time of year, the choir would be getting ready to perform Handel's Messiah, of which "Comfort, comfort ye my people" is the opening tenor aria. The author of this middle part of Isaiah is a different person from the author of the first part, the first 39 chapters. And it's striking that this middle section of the book has this theme of comfort running all the way through it. Scholars call this writer Second Isaiah. Second Isaiah is writing to the Israelite people who were at the time in exile in Babylon. What these people in exile need is comfort, hope, and consolation. And so we read God's instruction to the angels and the prophets: "Comfort my people. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned." These are words of comfort, of hope, of pardon and peace. They are words people need when they are exiled from all that is familiar, when they are far from home. Most of us have not travelled far from home at all this year. In that sense, we are the reverse of people in exile. And yet these times do feel like an exile or wilderness experience. We've been isolated, shut out from so many experiences that were familiar, that we loved. Our work routines and daily social contacts, our churches and communities. As human beings, we long to be part of something bigger than just ourselves. And the loss of that wider social network is immense. This exile experience is now sadly familiar to all of us. As one of my clergy colleagues said earlier in the week, praying a song of the wilderness in morning prayer in Advent every day, this week really resonated with him. The song contains a plea: "Strengthen the weary hands and make firm the feeble knees." It certainly feels like this kind of divine strengthening is needed at the moment. And yet, as Second Isaiah reminds us, there is hope. Every valley shall be exalted, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed. Perhaps, like me, when you read these and other beautiful words from this section of the Bible in particular, when you hear them read or sung, you feel a sense of hope welling up within you. For many people throughout history, from those ancient Israelites exiled in Babylon, to those waiting for the arrival of the Messiah in the time of John the Baptist in our Gospel reading, through the centuries down to us today, these words have contained words of great reassurance. The whole intention of this part of Isaiah is to create a sense of massive hope for the future. Comfort is part of that hope. Comfort and Joy is the title of the Church of England's Christmas campaign this year. The carol, "God Rest Ye Merry," that these words come from, is one of the relatively small number of Christmas carols in a minor key, putting our joy in a more reflective context, perhaps, than usual. The word comfort is not just a cosy, Christmassy emotion, a transient stirring of sympathy or pity that will leave us cold once the Christmas decorations are put away in January. Comfort comes from the Latin come, with, and fort, strength. Just as the function of a fort in a nation's defences is to protect the harbour or port from the invasion of hostile or alien forces, so the sending of God's comfort to us is the sending of solace and strength for the future. This Advent, in particular, is a reflective time, a time to focus on all that we've learned from the past year and on the things that really matter. This Advent, we are living in exile, but we're also living in hope. With the arrival of vaccines, we can see an end to this crisis, even if there is still some way to go. As we take real comfort in the familiar services and rituals of this season, different though they may be this year, may we prepare the way of the Lord, a way of consolation and of peace. And may we celebrate that Christ, the salvation of God, really is coming. Amen.